RV Bum. I'm out in the Hitchhiker today and I'm working on our oven. A couple weeks ago we went out camping and one of our meals required us to use the oven. Went through the procedure of lighting the pilot and everything seemed to be working good, and about 15 minutes later we noticed that there wasn't any heat coming out of the oven. So went and looked and the pilot light was out and tried and couldn't ever get the pilot light back lit. So doing some research, there's like 3 components to this. One is your thermocouple, one is your pilot, and one is your valve at the stove, the oven valve. And I replaced the gas line, and that didn't seem to work. And I'm pretty sure it's probably the thermocouple, but unfortunately they don't make the thermocouple anymore for an Atwood Wedgwood Vision 2133 stove, and they don't make the gas valve for the oven anymore either. So after doing some research, I contacted Atwood, and Atwood gave me a replacement part number for the whole manifold, the 3 valves for the stove, the valve for the oven, the thermocouple, and the pilot light gas line. So that's what I'm going to do today. I'm going to replace that, and we'll see if that fixes the problem. So stick with me. So here's my Atwood range. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, down under here is 2 more screws. So a total of 6 screws holding this in. And then I got to break loose the supply line. Okay, I've got the old one taken out and the replacement is here. So the replacement is the manifold, the pilot light, that's the gas line for the stove. Then the copper is your thermocouple, and then the other aluminum line is the line that goes to your pilot. And then there's also a very thin temperature probe that goes into the oven. So this is a whole complete assembly right here. Again, this is the old, this is the new. One of the main differences, you can focus up here, is the gas valve. This is the new gas valve for the oven. This is the old gas valve for the oven. And they're not interchangeable. So unfortunately you just can't pull this gas valve out and put it there. Here's the back of the range. And the top. You've got a mounting screw here for the manifold, here for the manifold, here, here, and here. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 screws that hold the manifold on to the top of the stove. Then you have to remove each burner, and there's just a screw mounts right there, and you just unscrew it, and then you're able to pull the burner away, because the manifold comes out this direction. So you got to move that stuff to get it out of the way. And then your lines follow this and go down. And they go here. This is where the temperature probe goes. And then the other gas line, pilot gas line, and your thermocouple go in here. The other thing that you have to do is you have to remove this plate this bottom that goes in here. Just makes it easier, but there's a hole here that your burner connects to, so you definitely have to take this screw out. And it's not hard. There's 2 screws back here. You just loosen them up. You don't even have to take them all the way out. The holes here have elongated slots, or elongated holes here, so you just slide the shelf over the top of the head of the screws there. So I'll bring you back when I have everything put together. Okay, I'm finished installing the new burner assembly. I've added some anti-chafing strips here and here. The only modifications that I had to do, or a modification, is that the mounting screw here didn't match the old one. So I had to drill a new hole and put that mounting screw there. But everything else matched right up. Now, every time that I break loose or open up a propane line or a gas line, I always put thread seal back on. And this is what I use. It's called True Blue, and it's vibration resistant. So if you notice, I've already got some on this pipe fitting here. And I had to break this line loose here, so I put some on that. So now, go install it, hook up the line, and see if my pilot light works. Now to go turn the propane on and check for leaks. Okay, don't see any leaks. Let's see if I can get the top burners to burn. All three of them are burning. Now the big test. See if we can get the oven to light. Cool. We got a pilot light. Releasing the pilot light on the knob, and see if we can get an oven going. We have an oven. Woohoo! All right. And off. Cool. Well, as you can see, I've got the stove all back together again. Got it all cleaned up. As for the project, it was pretty easy. It took me about an hour. That's removal of the range, disassembly of the burner assembly, installing the new one, and then putting the range back in. I was being careful, trying not to kink any of the lines that were attached to the manifold and the burner assembly, so could have probably been a little less time, but I was just being cautious. The part from Atwood cost me just about $180 as of the time of this video, which is a huge savings, just because of the fact that a new range costs anywhere between $500 to $700 depending on the model that you buy. So I'll buy that $180 any day, especially, you know, these ovens aren't the best anyway. But I would like to thank Mike over at JK Automotive. I will leave a link to their website down below. He was very helpful in getting me the part. You have to go through a dealer. You can't purchase it online. And he was the closest dealer that I have in my area here. So thanks to Mike. But if you have any questions or comments, leave them down below, and hope to see you on the road.